A shadow falls on Newark, the Delaney Hall Detention Center. Newark, New Jersey, a city with a rich history of immigration and activism, now finds itself grappling with the opening of Delaney Hall, a massive immigration detention center. This 1,000-bed facility, owned by the private prison giant the GEO Group Inc., casts a long shadow over the city. It stands as a stark reminder of the ongoing national debate on immigration. Delaney Hall began operating on May 1, 2025 under a 15-year contract with Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE. This billion-dollar deal, projected to generate $60 million annually for GEO Group, is part of a national plan to significantly expand ICE's detention capacity. The opening of Delaney Hall did not happen quietly. Newark officials, led by Mayor Ras Baraka, have vehemently opposed the facility from the outset. Their concerns ranged from the lack of transparency surrounding the project to the potential strain on city resources. The city argues that the facility violates local zoning ordinances and that proper permits were not obtained. This dispute led to a lawsuit filed by Newark officials last month, challenging the legality of the facility's operation. The controversy surrounding Delaney Hall is not just about local regulations, it cuts to the heart of America's moral conscience. The facility stands as a symbol of the Trump administration's hardline immigration policies that have drawn condemnation from human rights groups and many Democrats. The detention center's opening comes at a time when the nation is grappling with its history of mass incarceration and the role of private companies profiting from detention. The fight over Delaney Hall is far from over. It has become a flashpoint in the national immigration debate, pitting the federal government against local officials and igniting passions on both sides of the issue. As the legal battle continues, the eyes of the nation are on Newark, watching to see how this high-stakes standoff unfolds. The outcome will have far-reaching consequences not just for the city of Newark, but for the future of immigration policy in America. The tension between Newark and ICE reached a boiling point on May 9, 2025, when Mayor Baraka, along with a delegation of congressional representatives, attempted to conduct an oversight visit of Delaney Hall. The delegation, which included Representatives Bonnie Watson-Coleman, Rob Menendez, and LaMonica McIver, arrived at the facility seeking to assess the conditions and treatment of detainees. They were initially granted access to the parking lot, but the situation quickly escalated. Mayor Baraka was asked to leave the premises. While he complied and remained on the public side of the gate, he was followed and subsequently arrested by federal officials. The incident, captured on video, shows a chaotic scene with shouting and a brief scuffle. DHS claims the group stormed the facility, endangering the safety of staff and detainees. However, the representatives vehemently deny this, asserting that they were peacefully exercising their right to conduct oversight. The arrest of Mayor Baraka, a prominent Democrat and vocal critic of the Trump administration's immigration policies, sent shockwaves through New Jersey and beyond. It was widely condemned by fellow Democrats, including Governor Phil Murphy, Senator Cory Booker, and Representative Andy Kim. They characterized the arrest as politically motivated and an attack on local democracy. The incident sparked outrage among immigration advocates and civil rights groups, who saw it as a blatant attempt to intimidate and silence critics of the administration's detention practices. The ACLU condemned the arrest, calling it a shameful abuse of power and a clear violation of Mayor Baraka's First Amendment rights. The organization vowed to pursue legal action against DHS, alleging that the arrest was unlawful and retaliatory. The aftermath of Mayor Baraka's arrest was a whirlwind of activity. Initially held at Delaney Hall, he was later transferred to a Customs and Border Protection office before being released later that evening. The 3 congressional representatives who accompanied him were eventually granted access to the facility. While they reported that the facility appeared clean and safe, they expressed serious concerns about the handling of the situation and the treatment of Mayor Baraka. The incident drew sharp criticism from various stakeholders. Representative Menendez called the arrest an act of intimidation, while Representative Watson-Coleman reiterated their right to conduct oversight, denying any wrongdoing. Representative McIver expressed concern about the treatment of both detainees and citizens, highlighting the need for transparency and accountability. New Jersey Attorney General Matthew J. Platkin criticized the arrest, emphasizing the right to peaceful protest. On the other side, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin defended the actions of federal officials, alleging that the group endangered safety by storming the facility. Interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba publicized Baraka's arrest, further fueling the controversy. The divergent narratives and accusations reflect the deep divisions surrounding immigration policy in the United States. The incident at Delaney Hall has become a lightning rod for broader debates about immigration, federal overreach, and the right to protest. It has also thrust the issue of private prisons and their role in immigration detention into the national spotlight. The fact that a democratically elected mayor was arrested while attempting to oversee a facility operating within his city raises serious questions about the balance of power and the erosion of local control. The arrest of Mayor Baraka has added another layer of complexity to his already high-profile gubernatorial campaign. A rising star in the Democratic Party and a vocal advocate for social justice, Baraka has made his opposition to the Trump administration's immigration policies a cornerstone of his political identity. His experience at Delaney Hall is likely to further galvanize his base and energize his campaign. However, the incident could also alienate moderate voters who may perceive his actions as too confrontational. It remains to be seen how the arrest will ultimately impact the gubernatorial race, but it has undoubtedly made immigration a central issue in the campaign. The situation at Delaney Hall is far from resolved. The lawsuit filed by Newark officials is still pending, and the arrest of Mayor Baraka has added a new dimension to the legal battle. The Department of Justice has launched an investigation into the incident, but given the current political climate, it is unclear whether the investigation will be thorough and impartial. The controversy surrounding Delaney Hall is a microcosm of the larger national debate on immigration. It highlights the deep divisions over immigration policy, the role of private prisons, and the balance of power between federal and local governments. As the situation continues to unfold, it will undoubtedly have significant implications for the future of immigration enforcement in the United States.